Hello friends, this is Carrie speaking. Welcome back to my channel. Today we have 3 stories out of the Entitled Parents subreddit. Let's begin. In our first story, by Shower Arguments, when a stupid force meets an indifferent object. While I was working as a cashier in a Midwestern supermarket chain, I had the audacity to question a parent on why her clearly underage teen was handing her money when alcohol was the only thing on the conveyor belt. Not to mention, I heard the words, "You can't have any until we get home." Whether it was me following the law and not wanting to get penalized for allowing the selling of alcohol to a minor, or because I was too tired, too overly polite, the conversation went as follows. Me: "Hello, welcome to store name. How are you today?" EM: "Fine, just this please." I scan the alcohol and am prompted to ask for her license. I ask for her driver's license and the driver's license of her son. EM: "Why do you need his license?" Me: "Sorry for the inconvenience, but he handed you the money, and I'm going out on a limb here. For the alcohol, I have to be sure he is of drinking age as well." Son gets a bit pink in the cheeks. EM: "Who cares? He can have a little if I say so." Me: "I'm sorry, ma'am. I can't sell this to you since the store policy prohibits the sale of alcohol to minors and the purchase of alcohol for minors." EM: "Yeah, whatever. I'd like to speak to your manager." Me: "I can contact my supervisor. The shift manager is currently unavailable." EM: "Never mind. I'm going to Walmart, our competitor." Me: "I believe Walmart has a similar policy. I can check for you, if you like, so you don't have to make an unnecessary trip." EM: "Oh, screw you." Me, holding back a wonderfully snarky comment: "Thank you for shopping at store name. Have a nice day." Thank God it was close to the end of my shift, because I was about to lose my mind. Luckily, my favorite customer came through 15 minutes later. An Eastern European gent who buys several kinds of vodka and blushes when his license is requested. Because you think I look young? Don't get any ideas, I'm trouble. Edit: my state's law of not purchasing alcohol to minors extends to parents. It is posted on every check lane. Well, I guess that's an EM for you. On to the next story. Our next story, posted by Vote Dog. EM at airport tries to skip in front of me in the boarding lane. I'm at the airport taking Southwest, so we board according to number and group we were assigned, A, B, C, etc. Nobody wants Group C, as the airline is open seating. I'm A22, so I'm in the first group. I stand next to the pole with the number and wait until my turn arrives. A few seconds later, a woman with a little girl comes up and asks what group I'm in. I tell her and see her look at her boarding pass, which has a big C on it. She hangs about, lingering there, and that's when I realize it's because she's going to try and sneak in front of me. Me: "I'm A22. Are you A21? I know full well she's not." EM: "No, but it doesn't matter. They don't really pay attention to these numbers anyway." Me: "Are you new to Southwest? Look at the others here. You line up according to your group and number. So if you aren't an A, you may want to go sit down until they call your group." She ignores me, standing there like she belongs there. She talks to her kid, fusses over her phone, and does her best to avoid eye contact with me. A21 shows up and asks me what number I am. I tell him, and he goes in front of me. She's still standing there looking innocent. Me: "Ma'am, you need to go to your line." A21 guy: "Oh, you aren't A20? EM whispers to him so that I can't hear, "Yes, we are." Me: No, you're not." A21 guy looks confused. Boarding starts and our group starts to move. EM is trying to look like she belongs there, and then it's her turn to board. She hands her ticket to the agent, looking smug. Agent: "Sorry ma'am, but this is A group and you're in C group. You'll board in just a few minutes." EM begins to wail about having to be in C group and how she's got a kid and it's no fair. Her daughter was not young enough to pre-board anymore, and she's purposely blocking the way to the plane, assuming the agent will just say fine and let her board. Nope. He's not willing to budge. A21 guy hands his boarding pass over the woman's head to have it scanned so that he can board. She says, "How dare you?" as if he's done something to her. She begins to argue with the gate agent, still standing so that nobody can pass her. I'm over it, so I hand my boarding pass to the gate agent as well. I plan to shove her aside if I have to. She turns to glare at me. EM: "You must think you're so smart." Me: "What the heck is wrong with you, lady? Just wait your turn." EM: "I checked in late. I got here late. I shouldn't be punished for that." A21 guy ends up doing the work and brushes past her. I smiled like I never smiled before. I was so petty and stupid I couldn't help myself. What's wrong with people like this? Wow, friends, can you believe the audacity of this lady? I mean, I don't think I'd want to argue with somebody who has the power to have me booted from the flight. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't like airports and having to stay stuck in a city. And this woman is risking that just because she wanted to get on the plane with Group A rather than Group C. That is so stupid. Anyway, our final story is by Majin Noob. It's called EP Leaves Kid Alone in Mall. Hi there, I'm a longtime lurker of Reddit, and I just remembered this really dumb instance of bad parenting that my coworker and I experienced a couple of years ago. I'm not sure if this is the right Reddit for the story, but it kind of fits the usual entitled parent thinks retail workers are free babysitters. For starters, I worked and still work at a retail store in a mall that is further up the highway from a bigger mall that is always crowded and the parking was a nightmare. A majority of our customers are from the same area as the giant mall and come to our little plaza to avoid the crowds and unwittingly form a mob that makes the smaller mall resemble an ant's nest. It was late November. I don't remember if it was before or after Black Friday, and the store was packed with customers getting their Christmas and Hanukkah gifts ready as my coworker and I were busy at the registers trying to keep the displays clean. The latter was difficult because of certain customers were picking clothes up to inspect them before tossing them down or dropping a heap of clothes on a random display. They either saw how long the line was, or they couldn't remember where they got the clothes from in the first place. In short, the store, and by extension the entire mall, was a madhouse. It was around 7 at night, and I was 2/3 of the way through my shift and cleaning up a table in the men's section when one of my managers on duty called me over the headset to tell me I was due for a lunch break, 30 minutes. I let my manager know I got the message, passed the headset to another coworker who was going to cover me until I got back. I hid my ID so I could avoid customers and went to the employee lounge, which also functions as a stockroom. I was barely a few feet from the door when two boys approximately 4 and 6 years old, judging by height, bolted right past me. I legitimately felt a gust of wind hit me. That's how fast they were running, before disappearing into the boys section, which was further into the store. I just shook my head and figured their parents were close by, and went into the lounge where I would take a breather from dealing with customers and blot out the repetitive and annoying Christmas songs. The Little Drummer Boy, in particular, is the bane of my existence, which had been playing a day after Halloween ended, and technical issues with the registers. That was where my experience ended. The rest of the madness was regaled to me by my infuriated and very annoyed coworkers who had to deal with the toddlers. I should also add that I was under the impression that there was only 2 kids messing around at the store and that their parents were present. I was not aware of what was actually going on until my coworkers told me what had happened during my break. Coworker 1, a sweet Latina lady who will be called Lily, was in the women's section and working on tidying up a large display filled with holiday print pajamas, while trying to help customers find the correct size and offering the option to order online. Using a little handheld mobile device, which would freeze, have the scanner glitch up, or have the battery drain at the worst moment, usually in that order, if all items were not in stock. Lily had just finished a majority of the display and was working on the last stack of pajamas when the same 2 kids I had just seen 10 seconds ago ran towards the front of the store. They were shrieking like crazy as they were too focused on their game of tag and knocked 2 neatly piled stacks onto the floor in their wake and vanished into the crowd of customers, leaving a normally peace-loving and friendly Lily fighting the urge to scream and hurl a table at them. This is when coworker number 2's story started. Coworker number 2 is an elderly African-American woman, henceforth named Gran, who had been working at the store before I was hired. She is a cross between a mother figure and a sassy old lady who makes sure every clothing item that goes into the fitting room is accounted for and is a stickler for keeping tabs on potential shoplifters. Gran was managing the fitting rooms, which are located in the middle of the store and have openings facing the store's entrance and the toddler section, and keeping the area as clean as possible when the same kids came around the corner. Gran immediately concerned when two hyperactive toddlers hid inside one of the empty fitting rooms, and was about to knock on the door and ask them where their parents were when she spotted two more kids, a boy around 10 and a little girl around 4, walking around the store unattended. In between Gran or another coworker contacting the manager on duty and the manager calling for mall security to see if there were any reports of missing children in another store, the two toddlers had bolted from the fitting room in their unending game of hide-and-seek tag and out of the store's entrance into the mall's hallway. The eldest and his little sister ran out shortly afterwards, and the 4 were fortunately caught by the mall cops a couple of minutes later. The reason why security acted so fast was because apparently our store wasn't the only one that had gotten blitzed by these two terrors, and there was a lack of a concerned parent or guardian chasing after them in an attempt to calm them down while managing the 2 other kids. Long story short, as you've probably guessed by now, their parents had dropped them off at the mall and drove off to start their Christmas shopping in a different location, leaving the 10-year-old in charge of his 3 siblings. I'm not entirely sure if CPS got involved. I do remember seeing a cop car parked near the front of the mall when I finished my shift. I didn't get to see the reaction of the parents, but I seriously hope the cops charged them with child endangerment or child abandonment. For heaven's sakes, retail stores are not daycare centers. Too long didn't read. Can't afford a babysitter and you need to go Christmas shopping? Leave them at the mall. Wow, I can't believe the parents would be that dumb to leave their kids unsupervised in the mall. I mean, anything could happen. Anything. Wow, I really do hope CPS was involved at some point because this is not okay. Anyway, that's all the stories I have for today. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Please hit the bell notification to let you know when I've uploaded new content. Links to the original Reddit posts will be in the description below. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.